I never imagined I'd be the type of man who would question his wife's behavior in front of others. Emily had always carried herself with elegance, and for years I trusted her without a second thought. We had been married for 7 years, and despite the usual ups and downs, I believed our marriage was strong. Yet sometimes, it's the smallest incidents that can shake everything you thought you knew about someone and about your life together. It all began at a friend's birthday party. The room buzzed with laughter, music, and the soft clinking of glasses as people moved the rhythm of the night. Dancing was never my strong suit, never had been, but Emily adored it. I usually watched her from the sidelines, captivated by the effortless charm in her movements that had drawn me to her in the first place. But that night, something felt off. My best friend, Ryan, was there too. He'd been a part of my life since college, the kind of friend you'd trust with anything. I had introduced him to Emily years ago, and over time, the three of us had shared countless dinners, trips, and casual hangouts. Never in a million years did I expect to witness what unfolded that evening. The music shifted to something slower, more sensual. Emily stepped onto the dance floor, her smile radiant and teasing. But instead of reaching for me, she turned to Ryan. Before I could process it, they moved together effortlessly, his hand on her waist, her body leaning in close. At first, I told myself it was innocent, just a friendly dance. But as the minutes ticked by, the intimacy, the whispers, the way her hand lingered on his shoulder, felt deliberate. My chest tightened, heat creeping across my face. Others around us noticed too. Some even smirked, as though aware I had no control over the scene in front of me. I fought to stay calm, but it became increasingly difficult. This wasn't jealousy gnawing at me. It was the sheer disrespect. When the song ended, I pulled Emily aside. My voice was low, measured, but tight with tension. "Why did you dance like that with Ryan?" I asked. Her eyes narrowed, lips curling into a half-smirk. "Don't be controlling," she shot back. The words cut deeper than I expected. Don't be controlling. It echoed in my mind, an accusation I didn't deserve. I wasn't trying to control her. I was trying to understand why my wife felt it was acceptable to entwine herself with my best friend in front of everyone we knew. "Emily, I'm not controlling," I said, keeping my tone steady. "I just think that kind of dancing with Ryan is inappropriate. He's my best friend, and you're my wife. Can't you see how it looks?" She crossed her arms, jaw tight. "So what? It's just a dance. You're reading into this too much." But I hadn't imagined the way her body pressed against his or the satisfaction in Ryan's smile that I'd never noticed before. My gut told me this wasn't merely innocent. Still, I tried to dismiss the thought because the alternative, admitting there might be something more, was unbearable. The rest of the evening dragged on. I avoided Ryan, barely acknowledging him, while Emily mingled and laughed as if nothing had happened. Once we got home, I made another attempt, hoping the quiet of our home would make her more receptive. "Emily," I began, "please try to see this from my perspective. I trust you, but when you dance like that with Ryan, it crosses a line. It's not about control, it's about respect." Her reply was sharp and dismissive. "Respect? You think I disrespected you? You're insecure, Michael. That's the problem, your insecurity." The word stung. I had always considered myself confident, steady, not easily shaken. But under the harsh kitchen light, I felt small. I tried to explain again, but she brushed past me, muttering that she was tired and heading to bed. That night, I lay awake staring at the ceiling. It wasn't just about the dance anymore. It was the way she defended it, the sharpness in her voice, the refusal to acknowledge my feelings. Something between us was shifting. For the first time in years, I felt like Emily and I weren't on the same team. The following days were heavy with silence. Emily carried on as if nothing had happened, moving through our home with practiced normalcy, while I wrestled with every word she had thrown at me. Controlling, insecure, overreacting. Each accusation chipped away at the trust we had supposedly built over the years. Ryan didn't make it easier. He texted casually, as if nothing was wrong, memes, invitations to drinks, pretending the party night had been ordinary. But every time his name appeared on my phone, I remembered the way he held my wife close, the smugness in his grin that refused to leave my mind. Eventually, I confronted him. At a cafe, after a few minutes of small talk, I leaned in. "Ryan, what exactly was going on at that party? You know what I mean." He smirked, sipping his coffee. "Man, you're blowing this up. Emily's fun. You should count yourself lucky she's not boring like some wives. Don't strangle her with jealousy." The casual disrespect made my blood boil. Ryan wasn't just crossing boundaries. He was testing me, maybe even enjoying the wedge he was driving between Emily and me. That night, I told Emily about our conversation. I expected her to understand, to see Ryan for who he really was. Instead, she exploded. "So now you're interrogating my friends? Do you hear yourself, Michael? You're suffocating me." Her words cut me deeply. I wasn't suffocating her. I was losing her. And perhaps she wanted it that way. Alone in bed, listening to the distant hum of the city outside our window, one truth became undeniable. The marriage I believed was grounded in loyalty and respect was slipping away. Emily had chosen to defend Ryan, to dismiss me, to treat my concerns as chains. And as much as it hurt, I began to realize the real betrayal wasn't the dance itself. It was the way my wife looked at me, as if I were the enemy,